Welcome to the SPSS tutorial video on scale reliability. In this video, we'll be dealing with how to compute Chromevox Alpha, how to create composite variables, and how to reverse code items within a composite variable. The data we'll be using for this video is the satisfaction with life and curiosity data. You'll notice that we have participant sex and age, which we'll not be using in the analyses today, as well as 5 items comprising the satisfaction with life scale. These items include things like, in most ways my life is close to ideal, the conditions in my life are excellent, and I'm satisfied with life. We'll next use 7 items from the curiosity and exploration inventory scale. These items include things like, I would describe myself as someone who actively seeks as much information as I can in a new situation. Now, psychologists use multi-item measures, or multiple indicators for a given construct, because we often want to increase statistical reliability. Instead of having 5 variables that each measure satisfaction with life, we would prefer to have one score, or a composite score, for these 5 items that we can then use in some other analysis. The first analysis we'll do today is to create a composite score of these 5 items. To create a composite score for satisfaction with life, because all of the items are worded positively, an issue we'll have to deal with later with the curiosity inventory, all we have to do is add the 5 items together. To add these items for a composite score, we'll go to Transform and Compute Variable. We'll create a new target variable. We'll call it Satisfaction with Life Total. And we'll simply add each of the satisfaction with life questions . We'll add each of the satisfaction with life questions and click OK. When we do this and we look back at our data file, we can see that a new variable, satisfaction with life total, has been created. Next, we need to do the same thing with the curiosity inventory. Now, the curiosity inventory has a reverse coded item in it. If you see this item number 4, it says, I'm not the type of person who probes deeply into new situations or things. Many scales include reverse coded items so that participants don't just go through and select a 7 for each item very easily. When people are paying attention, they realize that if they are a very curious person, they'll need to mark a 1 instead of a 7. Before we can compute this new composite variable, we'll need to reverse code this item number 4. There's a trick under the transform function. If we go to compute a new variable and delete our previous work, I'll name the new variable R for recode CEI4. So recode of the curiosity inventory number 4. Because this curiosity is on a 1 to 7 scale, to reverse code the item, we can say 8 minus curiosity number 4. Now, the reason 8 minus the score works for this is only because it's on a 1 to 7 scale. If it were on a 0 to 7 scale, this would not work correctly. However, if you have an item that's on a 1 to 5 scale, you can say 6 minus the score and it reverse codes it. If you don't want to use this trick, you can always go to recode variables and enter each score identically. Change a 7 to a 1, 6 to a 2, etc. We covered recoding variables in a previous video. For now, I'll simply OK. Now, when we go to create our new composite score, we'll add up all the CEI items 1 through 7, but instead of including number 4, we'll include the recoded number 4. We'll transform and compute. We'll call our new variable CEI total, and we'll add each of these. Here you can see that I've added each of the CEI items, except I've replaced number 4 with its recoded variable. This is because it was reverse coded, and now all 7 items are in the direction of greater scores indicate greater curiosity. So we'll click OK. we'll look back to our data file and see that we've created our new CEI total. Now we've created two composite scores. We want to check the Chromebox reliability, or Chromebox alpha, for each of these scores. To get alpha, we go to Analyze, Scale, and Reliability Analysis. And we'll have to do this separately for each scale. Let's first select over our first 5 satisfaction with life items. And we can see that in the model it already chooses alpha among other items. Alpha is the most commonly reported reliability statistic within psychology, so we can click OK. And as we scroll below, we see that our Chromebox alpha for our satisfaction with life scale, which includes 5 items, is 0.879. Generally 0.80 or greater is satisfactory within psychology. Now we've created 2 composite scores. We've examined how to compute Chromebox alpha. We could do the identical analysis for the curiosity inventory. If we do, we'll want to make sure to include the reverse coded item number 4 within Chromebox alpha. Any items that are reverse coded but inserted into scales where they're not all in the same direction is going to create problems for alpha. So make sure that all items you include within an alpha calculation are moving in the same direction, such that greater scores indicate more or less of a construct as long as they're all the same. Now we can even compute a correlation between our 2 composite scores, between our satisfaction with life and our curiosity total. Instead of having to calculate now correlations between all 12 of the items, the 5 satisfaction with life and the 7 curiosity items, we now get a correlation, a significant positive correlation between satisfaction with life and curiosity using these new composite measures.